rains which bring sadness, winds which cause madness, and dense sulphurous fogs which steal the senses and play tricks with the mind. Long ago, the ancient scholar Archimax wrote in his introduction to the 1,000 luminescent aphorisms that to know the weather is to know the edge. The current academics of Sanctaphrax would do well to heed his words, for cut off in their floating city, they are in danger of forgetting the link between the two. The Deepwoods, the Stone Gardens, the Edgewater River, Undertown, and Sanctaphrax, names on a map. Yet behind each name lie 1,000 tales, tales that have been recorded in ancient scrolls, tales that have been passed down the generations by word of mouth, tales which even now are being told. What follows is but one of those tales. Chapter 1. Open Sky. Out in the vast cloudscape, a lone skyship in full sail cut through the thin air. Ahead, at the end of a rope tether, a gigantic bird flapped its mighty black and white wings as it led the ship ever further into that place of terror for all the creatures from the edge, open sky. "Weather vortex straight ahead," the small oak elf shouted from the catenest at the top of the mainmast. His voice was shrill with fear. "And it's a monster!" Down at the helm of the Edge Dancer, a young sky pirate captain in a hamel-horn skin waistcoat raised his telescope to his eye with shaking hands. As he focused in on the dark, swirling air, his heart missed a beat. The approaching vortex was indeed monstrous. It was as if the great milky clouds were curdling and falling in on themselves, swirling into a great blood-red throat, at the center of which was an inky blackness that threatened to swallow the tiny skyship whole. "I see it, Spoiler," the young captain called to the oak elf. "It's coming in at a rate of about 100 strides per second, Captain Twig, sir," Spoiler shouted, panic plain in his voice. "We've precious little time till impact." Twig nodded grimly. Already the currents of air around them were beginning to spin unpredictably. They were passing in and out of great banks of cloud, plummeting as they went in, soaring up again as they emerged on the other side. With the binding tether taut, the caterbird continued its steady, relentless flight. "Surely this is madness," complained the wiry, weasel-faced quartermaster in the gaudy, brocaded coat. He pulled the large tricorn hat from his head and wiped his sweaty brow. "It's heading straight for the vortex." "We must follow where the caterbird leads, Sleet," Twig shouted back. But, stuttered Wingnut Sleet, his voice a thin whine. "Sleet," Twig called back, "we are all in this together. Just make sure those tolly ropes are securely cleated." Muttering under his breath, the quartermaster went to do the young captain's bidding. On the lower deck, he found a heavy, flathead goblin clinging to the rigging, its eyes white with fear. "Nothing to worry about, Bogwit," Sleet said through gritted teeth. "If our young captain really does believe that great scraggy bird can lead us to his long-lost father, rather than to certain death in the heart of the vortex, then who are we to argue?" "Who indeed?" shouted a stocky figure with the telltale flame-red skin and hair of a Deepwoods slaughterer. "You signed on with Captain Twig just like the rest of us. And I reckon, just like the rest of us, you saw something special in him, like he saw something special in each of us. We're the chosen few, we are, and we'll see this through to the end." "Yes, well," replied Sleet uncertainly, "the end seems rather closer than I'd expected." "Vortex 100,000 strides and closing," came the nerve-racked voice of Spooler from the catenest. "It's all right to be afraid, Sleet," murmured a soft hissing voice from the shadows behind them. Sleet dropped the tolly rope and turned. "Reading my thoughts again, were you, Woodfish?" he said. Woodfish recoiled. He was a slight reptilian individual with webbed hands and feet, and enormous